A very good evening and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Before we go over to the headlines, Rajya Sabha TV appeals to all its viewers to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Wear face masks, wash hands and face regularly and maintain physical distancing while stepping outside. Remember, these simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the pandemic. And now let's get to the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reviews work at vaccine development facilities in Ahmedabad, Hyderabad and Pune, appreciates efforts of scientists at Zydus Cadila, Bharat Biotech and the Serum Institute. COVID-19 recovery rate touches 93.68%. 41,000 patients beat the infection in the last 24 hours, with Delhi reporting the highest number of 5,937 recoveries. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu to preside SCO Government Head Summit on 30th November. Virtual meeting will take up many issues related to security, trade and cultural cooperation. Cycle your way to better health and environment. Vice President Naidu addresses international webinar to promote cycling, calls for dedicated bicycle routes in cities. And over 51% voting in the first phase of District Development Council elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Polling for Panchayat by-elections also conclude peacefully. The top story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday visited vaccine facilities in 3 cities to review ongoing coronavirus vaccine development work. Prime Minister Narendra Modi started his day-long tour of vaccine development in India by visiting Zydus Cadila's manufacturing facility near Ahmedabad. Wearing a PPE kit, he reviewed the vaccine development process at the company's research center. The Prime Minister interacted with scientists and vaccine developers. He was also briefed about the indigenous DNA-based vaccine at the plant by company officials. On Twitter, Prime Minister Modi complimented the team for their work. He assured them that the government is working actively to support them in their journey. Zydus Cadila's vaccine candidate, ZyCoV-D, is having phase 2 clinical trials since August. Prime Minister Modi's next stop was the Bharat Biotech facility at Hyderabad. He reviewed the progress of the company's indigenous COVID-19 vaccine, Covaxin, and congratulated the scientists for their progress in the trials so far. In a Twitter message, the Prime Minister said, the Bharat Biotech team is closely working with ICMR to facilitate speedy progress. Covaxin is undergoing phase 3 trials. Bharat Biotech is developing it in collaboration with the Indian Council of Medical Research and the National Institute of Virology. The trials involve 25,000 volunteers across 22 states in the country. On the last leg of his 3-city visit, the Prime Minister visited the Serum Institute in Pune that is developing the vaccine candidate Covishield. Scientists at the institute shared details about the progress of the potential vaccine and briefed about its launch, production and distribution mechanism. The Prime Minister also took a look at their manufacturing facility. The Serum Institute of India has partnered with pharma company AstraZeneca and Oxford University for the vaccine. Currently, phase 3 clinical trials of Covishield are underway across the country. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. After a meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Serum Institute of India CEO Adar Poonawalla said that the company is in the process of applying for emergency use authorization of Covishield in the next 2 weeks. He also explained the benefits of Covishield vaccine. Listen in.
What we discussed is the plan, implementation plan, which will happen only after an emergency use licensure, if that is granted, based on the data that will have to be submitted. We're in the process of submitting that officially to the Drug Controller of India. After he reviews that, we'll follow all those processes because we don't want to have any shortcuts at all. And after that, it will be a decision, with the health ministry to roll out hundreds of millions of doses in the first and second quarter of 2021. So this vaccine is a very good one because in the trial, not only did we get a good efficacy result, what we found with Covishield is that in the trials globally is that there were 0 hospitalizations, which means that even if you do get infected, you're not going to have a severe attack. And secondly, even those who got the disease, were not infecting others. So the sterilizing immunity, that what we call sterilizing immunity, was about 60% reduction, which is also a very good bonus to have for a vaccine against a disease which is so infective.
The Indian Council for Medical Research has approved a simple, fast and cost-effective method for COVID-19 testing. The Council for Scientific and Industrial Research said on Saturday. The new method, dry swab direct RT-PCR, has been developed by CSIR's Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, Hyderabad. It is a variation of the existing gold standard RT-PCR method and can easily scale up the testing by 2 to 3-fold with no new investment of resources. After evaluation and finding an overall concordance of 96.9%, ICMR has now issued an advisory for the use of CSIR CCMB dry swab method, considering its lesser cost and quick turnaround time. The dry swab direct RT-PCR method involves collecting and transporting the nasal swab in dry state, as opposed to using the viral transport medium VTM, making the transportation and handling of the samples easy and less prone to spillage and spread of infection. And a look now at the COVID-19 situation in the country. India reported 41,322 new COVID cases in the past 24 hours, taking the total confirmed cases in the country to 93,51,000. Total active cases stand at 4,54,940. The present contribution of active case load to India's total positive cases is 4.87%. While recoveries have crossed 87,59,000, the country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 93.68%. 485 deaths were reported on the day, taking the death toll to 1,36,200. Over 11,57,000 tests were conducted on Friday. India has tested 13 crore 82 lakh samples so far. Among the states, Maharashtra leads the tally with 6,185 new COVID cases. Delhi recorded 5,482 cases, while Kerala had 3,966 infections in the last 24 hours. With 98 deaths, Delhi reported the maximum new fatalities. Maharashtra saw a death count of 85, followed by West Bengal, which reported 46 deaths. Union Home Minister Amit Shah said on Saturday that the government is ready to hold talks with the protesting farmers on the matter. In his appeal to the farmers protesting against the newly passed farm laws, Amit Shah said that the government is ready to deliberate on every problem and demand of the farmers. He also said that Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar has already invited them on the 3rd of December for a discussion. Amit Shah also urged the farmers to move to the ground where they have been granted police permission in order to hold their programs.
अलग अलग किसान यूनियनों की अपील पर जो किसान भाई आज अपना आंदोलन कर रहे हैं, वो सभी को मैं अपील करना चाहता हूं कि भारत सरकार आपसे चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार ही है। 3 दिसंबर को कृषि मंत्री जी ने आपको निमंत्रण पत्र भेजा है चर्चा के लिए, और भारत सरकार आपकी हर समस्या और आपकी हर मांग पर विचार विमर्श करने के लिए तैयार हैं। दूसरा, अभी अलग अलग जगह पे नेशनल हाईवे पर, स्टेट हाईवे पर किसान भाई अपने ट्रैक्टर और ट्रॉली के साथ इतनी ठंड में खुले में बैठे हुए हैं। इस सबको मैं अपील करना चाहता हूं कि दिल्ली पुलिस आपको एक बड़े मैदान के अंदर शिफ्ट करने के लिए तैयार है। आप कृपया वहां पर जाइए, वहां पुलिस परमिशन भी आपको कार्यक्रम करने की दी जाएगी। आप वहां पर मंच भी लगा सकते हैं।
Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu will administer the oath to the newly elected members of Rajya Sabha on Monday. 13 newly elected MPs to the Rajya Sabha will be sworn in on Monday. 10 of these MPs are from Uttar Pradesh, while one each represents seats in Uttarakhand, West Bengal and Karnataka. Of the 10 newly elected MPs from Uttar Pradesh, 8 are from the BJP. They are Arun Singh, Geeta Shakya, Neeraj Shekhar, Brijlal, B.L. Verma, Seema Dwivedi, Haridwar Dubey and Hardeep Singh Puri. The non-BJP MPs are Samajwadi Party's Ram Gopal Yadav and Bahujan Samaj Party's Ramji. From Uttarakhand, Naresh Bansal from the BJP will be sworn in. BJP's Dr. K. Narayan is from Karnataka, while TMC's Subrata Bakshi is from West Bengal. Voting for the first phase of Jammu and Kashmir District Development Council polls were held on Saturday. 51.76% of polling was recorded in the first phase of local body polls in Jammu and Kashmir. The voting percentage in Jammu division was recorded as 64.2%, while 40.65% polling took place in the Kashmir division.
We 43 DDC constituencies had gone for polls. Out of 7 lakh electors, 51.76% have voted all over Jammu and Kashmir. 2,12,244 people cast their votes in Jammu province, Jammu division, and 1,50,522 in Kashmir division.
Polling was held for 43 constituencies in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir in the first phase amid strict COVID-19 guidelines. Long queues were seen outside the polling booths as the day progressed. Voters said that they want solution to their basic issues through the District Development Council polls. Panchayat and municipal by-polls are also being held simultaneously. This is the first electoral exercise in Jammu and Kashmir since it was reorganized as a union territory last year.
इस बार जो इलेक्शन हो रहे हैं डीडीसी के जम्मू कश्मीर में, ये पहली बार हो रहे हैं, इसलिए लोगों का एक बहुत बड़ी गवर्नमेंट पर आवेदन है कि ये यहाँ की डेवलपमेंट जो है यहाँ के लोगों को दी जा रही है।
जैसे कि आप जानते हैं पासमानदा इलाका है, यहाँ पे बर्फ़बारी भी हुई है पिछले दिनों में और उसके बावजूद भी काफ़ी लोगों ने इसमें अपना हिस्सा डाला और हमारी ये गुजारिश है कि एज अ सिटीज़न हम लोगों का ये हक बनता है कि हम लोग वोट डालें और इसकी अहमियत बहुत ज़्यादा है।
तो जो भी लोग आ रहे हैं जोश और जज्बे के साथ वो वोट दे रहे हैं, तो इसलिए हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे जो पंचायत दराज है यहाँ पे जितने भी लोग हैं बेचारे गरीब लोग हैं, तो इनके मसले मसाइल हैं, तो हमारी यही अपील है कि इन लोगों की जो भी मुश्किलात हैं वो दूर हो जाए।
तो इस इलाके में तामीर तरक्की के लिए हमने ये भरपूर वोट दिए हैं, इसीलिए कि इस बार तरक्की होगी और ये सहूलतें होंगी।
Meanwhile, the State Election Commission in Jammu and Kashmir has prohibited the conduct of exit polls till the last of the 8-phase District Development Council election is completed at 2 p.m. on the 19th of December. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath led BJP's campaign on on Saturday in Telangana's capital Hyderabad for the upcoming municipal election. Yogi Adityanath held a grand roadshow in Hyderabad to canvass for party's candidates for the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation polls. Voting for the municipal election will be held on the 1st of December, while the results will be declared on the 4th of December. And time for a short break here. More news and updates will continue on the other side. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. The monthly edition of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Mann Ki Baat is scheduled to air on the 29th of November. This will be the 71st episode of Mann Ki Baat. The Prime Minister had invited ideas and suggestions for the program. Mann Ki Baat is a radio program hosted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, where he addresses and interacts with people of the country. The broadcast of this program can be heard live on Rajya Sabha television. The Prime Minister addressed the 70th episode of Mann Ki Baat on 25th of October 2020. India will lead the SCO heads of government that will be held virtually on the 30th of November. Earlier, on the 10th of November, the SCO Head of State Summit was chaired by President Vladimir Putin of Russia, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended it through video conference. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu is chairing the SCO Heads of Government Summit this year. The summit that starts on 30th of November will discuss issues of trade, security and cultural cooperation among member countries. The SCO will also frame an economic cooperation framework, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi had stated on 10th of November.
SCO Council of Heads of Government का आयोजन करने जा रहे हैं। इस बैठक के लिए एक व्यापक एजेंडा तैयार किया गया है, जिसमें आर्थिक सहयोग के मुद्दों पर विशेष ध्यान दिया गया है। हमने स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम में अपने समृद्ध अनुभव को साझा करने के लिए इनोवेशन एंड स्टार्टअप पर स्पेशल वर्किंग ग्रुप की स्थापना का प्रस्ताव रखा है। हमने ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन पर वर्किंग ग्रुप का भी प्रस्ताव रखा है।
2020 marks the 15th anniversary of India-SCO relations. In view of its strategic importance, India became an observer of the grouping in 2005 and a full member in 2017. The group of 8 countries include Russia, China, Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan and Tajikistan as full members. Afghanistan, Iran, Mongolia and Belarus are its observers. Turkmenistan is a special guest.
We have maintained extensive engagement in all fields under the SCO framework, and this includes promoting multilateral political, security, economic and people-to-people interaction in the region. SCO also provides us an institutional platform to engage with Central Asian states and to prioritize our economic and trade cooperation.
Road connectivity among member countries is one of the main objectives of the SCO Charter. Cooperation against terrorism and separatism also occupies top place on its agenda. Pakistan has proved to be a stumbling block in this, having neither taken effective steps against terrorism nor providing road connectivity to Central Asian countries. While in this regard, India has found an alternative route through the Chabahar port of Iran, China's encroachments on the Indian border have also hampered exercise of the full potential of the SCO.
With 42% of world population and almost 1/4 of world GDP, SCO provides unique strategic depth to India in Eurasia and Central Asia. That is why, irrespective of all obstacles, India is keen to be associated with SCO. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person Manoj in Delhi.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu called for promoting cycling culture and creating exclusive cycling tracks in cities. Delivering the keynote address at the international webinar on cycling in post-COVID world, he noted that the pandemic has provided a rare opportunity to integrate cycling into the urban transport system, calling for exclusive cycling tracks in the cities. He also asked cities to implement carbon credit to benefit cyclists and also promote e-bicycles.
A healthier lifestyle, good nutritious food habits, leave the sedentary lifestyle, and then take to cycling. I call upon the youngsters across the country, school-going and college-going children, even university-going children also, to take this, because in universities broadly, you have a lot of space, and cycling can be practiced there and can be used in the universities, in colleges, and there can be cycle competition also. All these promotions will help us in regaining our health that way. So let us all work together. Let us build a safer, cleaner and healthier world, because you must live in harmony. And in India we believe in Vasudaika Kutumbakam. The entire universe is one family. So we must all work towards creating peace, reduce tension, and have a healthier life.
The Vice President stressed on the need to create a mass movement to encourage cycling through rigorous awareness campaigns and regular promotional events. He observed that cycling is a healthy, low-cost exercise and provides several benefits, including zero pollution.
There is imperative need to promote cycling by providing the necessary cycling infrastructure. I am told that many bicycle enthusiasts are taking to cycling to ward off the loneliness and claustrophobia that come with the COVID lockdown. I am happy to learn that there have been 300 to 600% spike in the sale of cycles since strict lockdown were lifted in the country. As work places start reopening, some are choosing cycling to avoid public transport, while others are using them to improve fitness levels. In the present situation, everybody needs to improve their fitness levels.
National Security Advisor Ajit Doval called on Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa on Saturday and had a productive discussion on bilateral ties. Ajit Doval expressed hope that the India-Sri Lanka bilateral relationship would diversify and deepen further under the strong leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. On the day, he also participated in the 4th Trilateral meeting among India, Sri Lanka and the Maldives on maritime and security cooperation. Top security officials took stock of the current maritime security environment in the region. They agreed to further strengthen cooperation and ensure peace in the region for common benefit. Sri Lanka was hosting the 4th National Security Advisor level Trilateral meeting in Colombo. It took place after 6 years. The last one was held in New Delhi in the year 2014. Ajay Dake, a 6th standard student from Maharashtra, received a pleasant surprise in the form of a letter full of praises from none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself. Ajay, a student of the Bal Vidya Mandir High School in Parbhani, made a sketch of the Prime Minister and sent it to him along with a letter. However, he wasn't expecting a reply from the Prime Minister of the country. Admiring his exceptional art talent, the Prime Minister wrote in the letter that the magical art of painting realizes most ethereal dreams on canvas. He also said that Ajay's ideas about the country illustrate the beauty of his thoughts. Prime Minister Modi also encouraged Ajay to utilize his creativity for the betterment of society. He also went on to give his blessings and good wishes to the student. And President Ramnath Kovind on Saturday witnessed the ceremonial changeover of the Army Guard Battalion stationed at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The 5th Battalion of the 1st Gorkha Rifles, on completion of its 3.5 years tenure as Ceremonial Army Guard Battalion, handed over the charge to the 6th Battalion of the Sikh Regiment. Different infantry units of the Army function as the Ceremonial Army Guard at the Rashtrapati Bhavan by rotation. The Army Guard Battalion performs ceremonial duties at various important events. These include Guard of Honours to the dignitaries, the Republic Day Parade, the Independence Day Parade, beating the retreat ceremony, apart from performing ceremonial guard duties at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. And that's it from us in this bulletin. But before we leave, we once again appeal to all our viewers to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Wear face masks, wash hands and face regularly, and maintain physical distancing while stepping outside. Remember, these simple precautions are all that it takes to defeat the pandemic. Good night, and thank you very much for your time.